Hello and welcome, Lydia. Welcome to Soulful Valley Podcast.
Well, thank you so much, Katie. It's such an honor and pleasure to be part of this incredible book, Evolving on Purpose. And I'm so grateful that we connected. When you told me about the book and the title of the book, it was just, I couldn't believe how in alignment it was with who I am and what I do and how I live. So again, I'm so honored and grateful to be part of this book of incredible authors who are sharing their light with the world. And it's a time in the world where there is much light needed. And we're all here to support and connect each other in our own unique ways.
Beautiful. And as Lydia just mentioned, she's one of the authors in Evolving on Purpose, which launches for me now. It's in just over 24 hours. It starts launching in New Zealand. So we've got New Zealand first, then Australia, and then there's 12 marketplaces. We finish up in the USA and Canada with you.
Incredible.
So very exciting. So for our listeners, Lydia, could you share a little bit about who Lydia is and what you do in the world?
Oh, I'm a health and energy coach and chronic health specialist. I've been in private practice for 25 years, helping overworked, stressed out, high achieving men and women resolve their chronic health conditions so they can go back into life and reclaim their health and regain their energy and refine their power. I got involved in all of this through my own healing, and I discussed that in my chapter. I was born with deformed organs and was very sick as a young person. And at the age of 10, decided that I didn't come to the planet to be half alive. I wanted to be whole and free. And my healing journey started at the age of 10. So that's how I got involved in my professional work. And I really specialize in deep healing. So for clients who would like to really explore the depths of their condition and get results to take them to the next level, whether it's a physical condition, something serious like advanced cancer or a stroke or a serious injury, or whether it's mental, emotional health conditions. And then I support them on their journey, both through the micro process of healing that I call, where it's the actual cellular regeneration and then that connection to soul. And then the macro process of healing, which is the more like the journey, the relationship with self, that sort of thing. So it's been 25 years of pure joy helping, supporting others.
I think it's amazing that you came across this when you were 10. It's just fabulous.
Yeah, I know. Well, at the age of 10 was a turning point. I was very ill, and everyone tried to help. It's not like, there wasn't an effort made, but there just wasn't the understanding at the time in the medical community. And so they did what they could. But ultimately, I was diagnosed sort of with psychosomatic condition because my symptoms were varied and not easily defined, and quite extreme. Like I would have to be hospitalized with pain and swelling in my abdominal area, and no one could really figure it out. And I wanted to be outside. We lived on a farm, and I wanted really to participate in nature. And so I would lie sick in bed looking at the window, wishing I was in the elements and outside. And I did get outside. Like when you're chronically ill, you're not always, in pain. Like you sort of go through cycles or waves, or but it wasn't sustainable, and I was really declining. And then I started looking. So we had a farm, and we had a little school library where I went to school. And, back in the day, there was a TV with 2 channels, a black and white TV with 2 channels. But I found the book, The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale. And that became my Bible. And I forgot that I actually read that until I was in my deep healing in my late 20s. And I took that book, The Power of Positive Thinking, with me to school. Like I'd hide it in my history book, and I would read it in the haystack. And that was really what got me going on my healing journey and evolution. You know, we're talking about evolving on purpose. And I've been doing it ever since. Like I just love everything about personal development, healing, evolving. And what really a lot of times I like to be able to share with someone who's going through a hard time what there is on the other side, right, of pain, of suffering, of trauma, of loss. And it's such a magnificent world, and we create it here on earth. You know, we're creating, you know, this evolutionary a path into the light right now here on earth. And so in my youth, I could have never imagined such joy and connection and wholeness that I experience now. So it's always nice to keep that in mind, you know, when I'm coaching clients, that when we're in, you know, when we're in the swamp and it's hard to keep walking through the swamp to the green shore, it is there for us. You know, it's up to us, and every soul has their own journey. So I always honor that.
That's such a beautiful story. And there you mentioning the power of books. When you were so young, books were what helped me through a traumatic childhood. I used to hide away and read all of my mum's books, and
Yes,
a real book lover. And the fact that now we've been brought together in a book that we hope, I'm sure, it's going to help a lot of people. So it's all the more special when you know that a book like this is such a valuable tool to anybody who's seeking help that isn't there within the mainstream, you know, mainstream medicine or healthcare in general.
yeah, no, absolutely. And books last forever. You know, my three is talking about books. My three big guides at the age of 10 were The Power of Positive Thinking, Lord of the Rings. I read Lord of the Rings in detail. There's such powerful spiritual teaching, Lord of the Rings, and Little House on the Prairie. I wanted to be Caroline Ingalls. And I thought if I could only be Caroline Ingalls and be healthy and graceful and, you know, like Caroline Ingalls on Little House on the Prairie. And but I read the books first. So there you go, the power of books. I mean, the book that we've put together is now out forever.
Yeah. And it's there to help anyone who needs the help to help themselves. A question I like to ask my guests, but it sounds like you had it together at the age of 10.
I started.
Normally, yeah. What advice would you give to your 20-year-old self?
Well, I think because I started at the age of 10, really connecting to my wholeness and connecting to my self-responsibility, I think I would say to myself to really embrace Taoist non-attachment. So you sort of say, what is that? So non-attachment is not detachment. It's not denial or repression. It's being in your center, you know, what I call centered in your core energy, or like grounded, connected to your power, your essence, and conscious of your thoughts, beliefs, actions, of who you are. And in that sacred space, you're like the Buddha in the middle of the burning inferno. And it's not that you're doing nothing, but you're living your life, you know, as the captain of your ship without absorbing other people's energies. So in Taoist non-attachment, you strengthen your core energy. And then that core energy is your aura, right? And that strong aura that radiates out can discern and deflect. So you can be completely committed. You can be helping others, but you don't get pulled into situations that don't honor you, and you don't carry other people's energy. And that's what I did in my youth. You know, I carried a lot of other people's energy.
I think that's what I did when I ran the mental health charity, and I was teaching Reiki as well and mindfulness, but I think I just took on too much of everybody else's and didn't protect my own energy enough, and my body showed the signs of that. But at least I know what it was, and I won't be doing that again.
Well, we learn,
yeah.
you know, and I had no idea. Like when I was a teenager, I had no idea I was absorbing other people's energy or processing out their emotions, or I just wanted everybody to be happy.
I can completely understand that. Yeah. And we usually do that at the expense of ourselves as well, as
Well,
women.
I think because when we were young, we weren't taught these things, and now here
No.
we are being able to share this in our book and provide that for others of any age. I mean, of any age, but there was just no awareness around anything to do with that. I mean, I found the Power of Positive Thinking book, thank heavens, in our little country school library. And now there's, you know, internet, and, you know, there's a whole world of communication compared to then. But I had no idea that I was carrying others' burdens. And that's the beautiful thing about Taoist non-attachment and its principle, is that you naturally discern and deflect any energy that doesn't support you. So you can be compassionate, as I said, and participate and responsive, but from a place of a strong centeredness, a place of strong groundedness. And then you don't feel bad. I used to always feel bad if somebody wasn't happy or wasn't doing well. Not that I felt responsible. I didn't feel responsible for them, but I just wanted everyone to be happy. And right. And I kind of learned at my 20s. So if I, going back to your question, at the age of 20, that it's okay for other people to be where they are, right? In the Taoist non-attachment state. It's okay that they're going through a difficult time. But I'm there to support them in the best way that I can, as a friend, you know, or as a therapist, or as a practitioner. But so I don't feel that burden of yearning for others to experience what it's like to be free and whole, because they're on their journey.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. And we've all got a different journey, haven't we?
Exactly. Yeah.
I had an interview today actually with somebody, and I said that I see my disabilities as a gift now, because I wouldn't be doing any of this right now if that hadn't happened to me. There was a reason that I had to follow this path, and it's given me so much awareness about myself and my own body, and how I am relationally, or how I have been relationally with other people, that it's been quite a powerful journey.
Well, yes, exactly. And I always say our chronic health condition is our gateway to our lasting empowerment. And because ultimately, when we're dealing with a chronic health condition, then if we want to move forward, you know, with a life of high quality that we're aiming for, we need to have relationship with self. I mean, that is really the key, is relationship with self. And I've worked with many clients over the years who have, let's say, healed of a very serious health condition like terminal cancer, and their test results show that the cancer is gone. So on a cellular level, they certainly were healing, and on a what I call the micro process of healing, the natural mechanism of healing that is the order of the universe. Like everything, you know, the whole universe is constantly trying to regenerate and cleanse and realign. But they didn't, if they got to that place and then they didn't have relationship with self, if they weren't interested in knowing some, you know, cause and effect, you know, that sort of thing, then it's harder for them to maintain their new state of health. And this is why, when you just mentioned that, you know, when we embrace our chronic health condition as a gateway to our empowerment, then a whole world of possibility opens up through relationship with self and accessing different aspects of self. And that's exactly what happened to me. What, you know, because of my chronic health condition, I then started supporting others in professional practice. And I didn't plan to do that. I had degrees in environmental policy, and I was working in that, and I loved it. And then I had dreams guiding me quite strongly, to start my professional healing arts practice. That was over 25 years ago. So it's, as I said, it's been an incredible journey, but absolutely, like, you're turning lead into gold. And so we each have our own unique path. And I don't know what is the best path for you or for somebody else. All we can do is support each other and each person finding out what that is.
And that reconnection yourself back to your own intuition, to lead
Absolutely.
yourself, because it's not about other people. It's not about following other people, really, is it? It's about reconnecting with who we are and what we're actually here for, which we often miss that because we're so busy looking out there for the answers that we don't realize they're in here.
Absolutely. Well, that's what happened to me. I would just fall asleep and have dreams telling me what to do.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
So I couldn't run away from that, but that was all internal. And my choices to study environmental science and policy were completely against the social norm at the time. My friends and family said, "What are you doing? Like, you should be doing an MBA, and why would you study the environment?" Because this was over 30 years ago, right? And then when I started to have a foundation in that and had great job offers and, an office in Park Avenue in Manhattan, and I walked away from that to do my healing and then to go into the healing arts, everyone was like, "What are you doing?" and so absolutely, when we connect with our inner knowing and our inner self, and however that means for someone, then we can stay focused on creating a life for ourselves that is truly enriching in every way.
Absolutely. Where can people find you, Lydia, if they want to connect with you and come and work with you?
Oh, yes. Well, I'd be honored to connect with anyone who'd like to learn more about what I do. It's Apona, APONA, healingmethod.com. So that's my website, APONA, healingmethod.com. And also the same link is healthenergycoach.com.
It's been great to have you here, Lydia. Is there anything else you want to share with us before we leave?
I think that's it. I think you and I could talk all day. All of us authors could talk all day about self-development, healing, evolution, being a mindful ancestor. And that's why we've had
so many chapters to share.
I know, it's such an honor to be, as I said, in this book, and I really consider myself to be a mindful ancestor of future generations. Everything that I do now, I have an awareness of 2100 and macrobiotic teachings. Michio Kushi, our teacher, taught about when the North Pole aligns with the North Star in 2100, the next 13,000 years of light will come in. And so I have this knowing that everything that I'm doing now is preparing the planet and humanity for 2100. So again, everything about the book is in so alignment, and thank you for this incredible opportunity, Katie. You're a shining star to all of us.
I've loved every minute of it. Well, that's all for now then. So I'll say bye for now.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Katie. Thank you.